Well, a jolly good morning to everybody. And if you think that was an excited introduction, it's because I'm excited about today's video. Because I'm going to be taking these, in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different Mizuno clubs out onto the golf course. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody agrees Mizuno makes some of the best feeling, looking, performing, outstanding, outlasting, and just core blimey beautiful irons. So what I've done is teamed up with Golfbidder to basically get one iron out of each set released by Mizuno over the last decade. So whenever I do secondhand club challenges, always team up with my friends at Golfbidder. If you don't know about Golfbidder, they are a second-hand club site. Check them out in the description below. And if you do need second-hand clubs, make sure you have a look at Golfbidder first, because they are awesome and sent through all these goodies to try. So here is the plan of action. I'm going to head over to New Mills Golf Course, which is just south of Stockport, overlooking Lancashire, Yorkshire, the Peak District. It's a very beautiful spot. I'm saying it's a beautiful spot. I've never been before. I've heard it's a beautiful spot. I'm sure I won't be let down. I'm going to get out onto the golf course, play 18 holes with these clubs, try and see what I can shoot. If I can get anywhere near par, I'll be delighted. Make a little bit of a judgment about which clubs I think are the best, and then just give you my 2 cents on second-hand clubs, and if you are thinking of getting some Mizunos, what you should maybe look out for. Okay, let's head over to New Mills.
First hole kicking off with a par 5, which normally I'll be absolutely loving.
But as it's only irons, I've got mixed feelings. I'm going to go with the JPX 825. Now, this one's only a 5 iron, but it's got the biggest head. Again, I've not had a chance to have a warm up, so I'm hoping this is going to be forgiving enough. And it's slightly downwind, so an easy 3-shotter. So this iron's okay out of there. What an absolutely stunning day, by the way. It's like 25 degrees up on the hills, overlooking the beautiful Peak District. You've got Lancashire, Yorkshire. Oh, stop.
That was such a terrible shot. I'm going to hit it again.
That is so bouncy.
There's one ugly ass sandwich, 70 yards.
$115 to win, but I'm using a 9. It's so bouncy. One thing I'm going to have to combat against today is the fact that all the shafts are different. Because these clubs have been taken from different sets from the Golfbidder website, you know, some have graphite shafts, regular, stiff, X-stiff. So I'm just going to have to bear that in mind a little bit. I'm just giving myself excuses for what was a pretty poor approach. Up and down for par, come on. Sting 4, mountains in the background, sun shining, pretty much summer. It's no big deal, no big deal.
So unwittingly, I think I've actually found a perfect course to do this video. So it's only 5,500 yards off the back tee, so I've not been struggling for distance as of yet. I've been struggling for strike and also pace on the greens. The greens here look lovely. They're just a little bit slow. They're so full and they're rolling so pure. I just need to remember to hit it. Same as Hesketh, really. A little bit too soon to draw a conclusion on any of the irons yet, but I have to say, Mizuno make one sexy looking bladed club. When it starts to get a little bit bigger though, a bit more cavity back, I'm really not sure. Check these out by the way. No need to touch the bottom of the hole there. So the first times we're going to have a little bit of a look at these. So these are the MX100s. Now these are from 2010 and I've got the sand wedge and then I've got the 8-iron as well. And let's be honest, these are pretty goppingly ugly. But that's not really the point of these. Considering they're a Mizuno iron, these are built on forgiveness and actually generating power and forgiveness. So the whole point of these, you can see at the back there, they've got this thing called Y-Tune XL. And that ribbing across the back, that apparently increases the MOI across the club face and that they're very forgiving. I've had to go with the sand wedge so far and it did spring off with not a lot of feel. And again, considering it's a Mizuno, that's not what you expect. There's also another thing about Mizunos, and you can kind of see this on the back. You don't think of Mizunos as particularly aging well. Now what I mean by that is if you get an 8-iron from 2010 in a ping, say, you could literally run over that with a steamroller, throw it in a cement mixer, send it to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, drag it up. I don't know where I'm going with this. You can put it through a lot of turmoil and actually it's still going to look pretty good. Mizuno irons, as they age, tend not to look great, and I think that's almost what's happened with these. So for the price, for the forgiveness and the power that you get from these irons, you know, who can complain? Now check this out. This is a Mizuno JPX 825 and I remember selling so many of these when I was working in a golf shop. Now the reason for that is that these are super forgiving, but they're also really good feeling irons. And surely that's the whole point of getting a Mizuno. Yes, it can be forgiving, but you want it to feel good. That's the whole purpose of a Mizuno iron as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is a great crossover, and still even to this day this is actually in really good nick. So JPX 825, that's probably my favourite of the fatter irons so far. Another spectator. Terry? No, you guess. Very much walker country up here, and we're on to the back 9. I hadn't quite anticipated how tiring it'd be to carry around like 18 irons. I'm knackered. I'm too over. I'm going to concentrate a little bit more on this back 9. Try and get a score together. I'm guessing this is going to be the quarry. Okay, into the back 9. I'm currently on the 12th hole and I'm 1 over par, which actually isn't that bad really. Considering I've never used any of these irons before, they're definitely different lies and different specs. I've actually put it okay, which is probably why. But I've definitely hit the best tee shot of the day there, bang in the middle, only got a little flick down onto the green there. So you and me together. Let's try and get it back to level, shall we? If I can shoot level, with these clubs. Yes, I know it's a short course and it's certainly runny and bouncy, so I'm getting a bit more of a benefit that way, but oh, hello. I'm just like a little kid, I'm easily distracted. There's Manchester. Hello, home. I live in that building. No, I don't, that's a lie. So I've not really been able to generate much spin off this sand wedge at all, but we'll give it a go. So after that stinger of dreams, this is probably my favourite club so far today, the MP18 pitching wedge. I'm going to try and hold up just a tiny little half swing into the wind, which is off the right. Sounds good. It does sound good. Well, there's a hold-up shot and there's a hold-up shot, and that was a hold-up shot. That was just crap. That was crap. But let's have a little bit of a look at the difference between some of the blades that I've got in my bag.
Okay, before I delve into the details of these irons, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, become part of this community that we have here on YouTube. It lets you know about the videos that I'm putting out. It also gives you access to exclusive giveaways, and it also puts you on the shortlist to come to my birthday party. That could be a lie. It's a lie. I'm not having a birthday party. Oh. Blades! Now, I love blades. I love all kind of blades. Manner of blades, blades. I should really be a Sheffield United fan. Their nickname is the Blades for anyone watching who don't know who Sheffield United are. Now, the makeup of these blades made it a little bit difficult to fall in love with all of them on the golf course. So the 2-4 irons are a little bit upright. The shafts all are a little bit different. But as far as looks and performance, this beautiful little MP18 pitching wedge, it just looked so nice. So I remember when these came out, and they're a very compact head. They've got a super thin top line. And when these came out, they were very much influenced by Mizuno's Master Craftsman. And I would say at the time, and even now, they just look beautiful. You know, it's a classic Mizuno blade, and you really can't go wrong with it. Feel off it was just like, Now, the JPX 919. I'm going to go out on a limb here, because I know a lot of players had these in the bag. I think these were the ones that Brooks Koepka had in his bag, even though he wasn't contracted by Mizuno when he was a free agent. What's he got in now? Has he still got Mizunos? I'm not keen on these. Not the performance, not the feel, not anything about it, because as a classic Mizuno Tour blade, they've got everything that I want. I just really don't like the frosted effect that they have. If I buy a set of blades, I want them to be shiny. I want to feel like I am wielding a Japanese samurai sword. I don't want them to be cased over in this weird frosted effect. It literally does nothing for me. And it's the most pointless, pathetic, completely irrational thing to have put you off a set of irons. I know that, I understand that, I completely get it. But remember, when you get a set of irons, when you get any clubs, you know, there's so much personal preference that actually goes on. And when I look down on these irons, I actually just feel a little bit disappointed of what could have been. But Brooks Koepka, loads of other tour pros used them to win many tournaments, so what the hell do I know?
Little shelf to the side of green that kicked it that way. Yeah, well, that was crap. Absolutely slapped the arse off it. So the 2-4 irons that I've got, I'm pretty sure they're both upright, so I'm just fighting them going left all the time. What I really should be doing is trying to play a bit more of a pull draw with them. This is a par 5 though, so I'm gonna just lay up. Hurts me to say, but I'm gonna lay up. Just a simple view, but how pretty is that? All bunkers at the moment are GUR, so that's a drop. I was actually aiming over here, to be honest. Up on the 15th hole, still level par, but just have a look at this view. Who cares about the scores? It is just so pretty up here. Manchester again in the distance. I actually live about, that's not lies. I'm so unfit after lockdown, it's unbelievable. 17th hole, actually made a bogey there on my first ball. That's a little bit annoying. So to get back to level, got a birdie one the last two. Come on. Before we do that, let's have a look at some muscle back, shall we?
So these are the MP59s, and they're not exclusively like a pure blade. So what Mizuno did with the MP59 is they started to mess around with a few multi-material constructions within the club head. So they basically claimed that this iron had the workability of a blade and the forgiveness normally found in a cavity design. So they forged a titanium insert into the back of the club head. It basically saved weight from the middle portion of the club, and then they were able to put that into different parts of the club head to maintain stability on the off-center strikes as well. The center of the gravity also remains close to the club face. And with the way the center of gravity is close to the club face in this, it actually allows more workability, so draws and fades. So to get that dual aspect of forgiveness and workability, and the fact that these irons just look really cool, these are probably some of my favorites from today. And they've maintained their condition really well. I mean, these are from 2013, 2012. So we're looking at 8 years old. I love it. I think they're absolutely awesome. So the MPH5s. Now again, for Mizuno, these are a relatively interesting iron. So the back of these clubs is basically hollow and partially hollow throughout the set. So this was all about adding a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more launch, but also the top line relatively thin, so it still looked like a better player's club. I like these irons, but I don't love them. I say these would be very much more suited towards that mid-handicap player who doesn't strike their irons that well, but actually wants the look and the feel of a Mizuno. They're still grain flow forwards, they're still really nice irons. They're just not quite there for me. Now, MP64 from 2014. So you see that in the back? That's called a diamond muscle. It's a bulging cavity pod for softer feel. Now there's a few features on this. There's a smoother sole bevel apparently, softer relief for more consistent turf interaction, and it's grain flow forward, so it's a Mizuno, you know the story on that. And it's got a double nickel mirror chrome. So it's basically a plated finish with a soft underlay. But anyway, if you cut through all the marketing crap, these actually are some of my favorite Mizuno irons. They look great behind the ball. They're not a massive cavity, so they look compact and they feel awesome. These are maybe the best feeling irons of today. I did try them quite a few times. They've got a graphite shaft in there as well, so something slightly different. But I love these. These are so cool. The MP18 MMCs, it's just a blade with a little bit more help in the back titanium insert. Now, 2016 saw the introduction of the JPX 850 forged. And it has my favorite element introduced into the club head, boron. So apparently boron is 30% stronger than some of the other steels that Mizuno used in their irons, allowing for a thinner face and greater ball speeds. So this was Mizuno's play at a real amazing feeling power iron. And it worked. I've got to be honest, I hate the look of the back of it. It looks like a confusion of lots of different designs. It looks a bit minging, but from the top down, it looks great and it feels and performs awesome. Top recommendation. That's a top recommendation.
I don't know if the last hole was par 4 or par 5. Hugged my tee shot again with a 4 iron. Hit a really good shot there out the trees. I think it's nearish the green. I'm going to call it a par 5 because I want to get a birdie to get back to level. It might not be true. I might be lying. I might be kidding myself and the entire world, but that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. insipid, pathetic effort at a birdie that was. It was a par 5. I'm gutted. I'm actually gutted about that. However, it's been a great round to actually get out here at New Mills, not been here before, and to play with the Mizuno irons, a decade of Mizuno irons. Let's get home and let's reveal what I think is probably the best out of the last decade. So from 2010 to 2020.
So now come out from behind the sofa. Stop biting your nails. Take a deep breath as the announcement drops. The winner is the MP20, of course, my current irons. Oh. So the MP20s, I got fitted for these irons, so obviously they're going to be a little bit better for my game. But honestly, do you know how manufacturers every year, they come out with something new, and let's be honest, nothing really changes that much. Now with the Mizuno blades, apart from those weird frosted ones, that's the case as well. You know, Mizuno blades and Mizuno blades, you could pick some up from 20 years ago and they're still going to perform really well. But what I would say is that the MP20s, they feel a little bit more refined, they feel a little bit more polished, they feel a little bit closer to what I would call a perfect club. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing crazy, it's nothing that's going to set the world on fire that you can go out there with these crazy marketing plans. It's just a beautiful, refined piece of engineering that looks, sounds, and feels amazing. And that's why the MP20, the most recent iron, is the best Mizuno iron of the decade as it falls over to the floor. It's not anything about the bold claims that it makes. It's just the fact that it sits very comfortably within its own design, within its own league. So guys, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for watching. A huge thank you also to New Mills for having me down. Not been up there before. I will definitely be back with my full set of clubs. I reckon it's a course that I could go very low around on a good day. Hopefully the weather will be like that again though, because it was perfect. A huge thank you to Golfbidder for getting me all these clubs and for sorting this video out. Like I said, if you haven't checked them out already, get down into that description below. The website is linked, all their social media. You can get a bit more of an in-depth look at the things that they do and the clubs that they have, because trust me, it's pretty extensive. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well. Make sure you hit that like button. Get down into those comments below. Let me know about what your favorite Mizuno iron is that was tested today, or what your favorite Mizuno iron is, or iron in general. All right, guys. See you next time.